In my last video, I showed how you can take an external zinc anode and hang it over the side of your boat on a wire to protect your underwater metals on your boat from galvanic corrosion. So that would be your prop shaft, your prop, rudder post, pintle and gudgeon, the metal piece that the cutlass bearing goes into. Those all need to be protected with zinc anodes to protect them from galvanic corrosion. So that's corrosion that happens through electrolysis, which is current passing between dissimilar metals that's in salt water. So it's very important. You want to protect all your underwater metal parts. That can also include your through-hole seacock valves, which there's one over there, but I don't have a light on it. Those can be all bonded together as well and protected. It's debatable on the through holes. Some people bond them together, some people don't. I don't know how big a difference it is. Probably better to bond them together, but a lot of boats aren't bonded, these through-hole fittings. So in my last video, I showed how the previous owner had a zinc setup that hangs over the side of the boat on a wire. So you can just pull it out of the water very easily. And you can look at it to see how fast the zinc is decaying. And that gives you an idea on how long your zincs are lasting on your boat. So it's extra protection, and it helps the zincs that are on your prop shaft and your rudder post and stuff like that from decaying faster. So it's just extra zinc. And so it's a really good thing to do. And so I have he had it hooked up to the rudder post to protect the rudder post. And so now this boat it's got a zinc on the prop shaft, and it's about time to be changed. They need to be changed periodically. Now it depends on how big of an electrolysis problem you have, and that depends on your boat, how it's grounded, how the boats around you are grounded, and other metal surfaces around your boat. Like if you're parked next to a steel hulled boat that's made out of steel, your zincs are probably going to go faster. So what I want to do, and I mentioned it in my last video, is I want to go ahead and run a wire from my rudder post that's connected to that overboard zinc, and run a wire down to protect my prop shaft. Well, I can't connect a wire to my prop shaft because the prop spins. So I come up with an idea. If I can connect it to the transmission should be metal touching metal to the prop shaft. So current should be able to flow through the transmission into the prop shaft and vice versa. So I got an idea here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get continuity with my fluke multimeter here. Let me turn it back on. It shut itself off. And I'll turn the light on. I'll turn the beeper on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and touch these two probes here. And like I was mentioning in the other video, you want to, first thing you do when you're using a multimeter to do a continuity test, you want to touch the two probes together to make sure there's no shorts in the wire and that's working properly. So the number should change and you should hear a beep when I touch these two probes together. So I'm going to go ahead and touch them together. It's kind of awkward because I'm doing it with one hand. Now you can see the display is changing, and you should be able to hear that beep. So that's working. So now I want the same thing to happen when I touch the prop shaft, one on the prop shaft and the other on the transmission. I want to hear a beep, and I want to see these numbers change. So I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can work one of these in. I see a spot where I want to attach this to. So down here, it's kind of hard to see. the lighting's not that good here. It's kind of awkward. Let me see if I can get a better shot here. Okay, there we go. Now, this is the prop shaft. That's stainless steel rod. And this is the transmission. And now I've got this is the linkage that connects the gear shifter outside near the steering wheel to the transmission. So this is what puts the transmission in forward and reverse. And this would be a handy place to attach that wire to. But I got to make sure that this is that the metal in the transmission and this is touching, connecting to the prop shaft, so that, like I say, current can flow between those points. If that's the case, then I can go ahead and run that wire from the rudder post and connect it to here, and mechanically, because these are connected, the transmission and the prop shaft, then if I can connect that wire to here with that zinc overboard outside, that should help protect my prop shaft. But current has to be able to flow through there. So let's see if that's going to happen. Now I'm going to take one probe, and it doesn't matter which probe goes where when you do a continuity test. There's a red probe and a black probe. And I'm just going to set it here, see if I can get it just to stay there. Okay, so that's touching, the black probe is touching the transmission. Now I'm going to take the red probe and touch the rudder post and see if I hear anything. Oh, there it is. Hear that? And there, if you see and now I got shade on the meter. But that right there shows that current is flowing through. So it's going to work. So now what I need to do is I just need to run that wire, I need to run a wire from the rudder post down and connect it right here. There's two screws that go into the linkage there that holds the linkage onto the transmission. So I can just back one of those screws out and crimp on a connector, a ring connector, to the wire, and then screw it back down so that it's connected there. That's going to work great. Now the other dilemma I have is that I got to figure out how I'm going to run that wire all the way from the very back of the boat to here, because this is more, it's not in the center of the boat, it's still towards the back of the boat, but it's a ways to go. It's got about like 20 feet or so, 15, 20 feet that I'm going to have to run the cable back up under here through a bulkhead. And I got other wires and things going through, but I don't know exactly, because the previous owner did some of this, or when the boat was built. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get the wire from the rudder post to here, which is probably not going to be very easy to do. It's going to be very awkward and cramped and hard to get to, and I may have to go ahead and remove stuff out of from under the cockpit that I have stored and crawl down under there. I'm sure that's probably what's going to have to happen, unless I can figure out a way to feed the wire through without doing that, which would be the best bet. But this is good news. So this means that zinc that's hanging over the side of my boat now will also be attached to my rudder post, and now to my prop shaft. So that will protect my prop shaft and my prop from galvanic corrosion. And so yeah, this is great. And then I will never have to remove those wires. All I have to do is, when I drive the boat, is just pull that zinc up out of the water, because it just hangs over the side of the boat with a wire, and pull it up out of the water when I drive the boat. Just set it up on the deck in the cockpit. And and then when I pull in back into the marina, I just throw it back in the water. It's real simple, and it's extra protection. Now, when you're driving the boat, that zinc is not going to be in the water, so it's not going to protect the boat while you're driving the boat. But if your boat's in the marina most of the time, then that's really where you need it most, is when you're in the marina, because you're connected to shore power, and there's boats around you and other metals around you. So this is really good news, and so I'm going to have to figure out how to run that wire and connect it. Okay, so this is where the zinc hangs over the side of the boat and goes into the water. So it's on this cable right here. It's a stainless steel cable that's hooked to the zinc here. And you can see it's got some seagrass growing on the cable. It's pretty much every day I come out and kind of shake it around to knock any sea growth off of it. And so here's the zinc. And no, I didn't catch a fish. It didn't catch a fish. This is what it looks like. So it's shaped like a fish, and it's just a big honking chunk of zinc. So it's a zinc anode, and what happens is it protects the. This cable's connected to the rudder post, so it protects the rudder post from galvanic corrosion. And now, because earlier in this video you saw that I'll be able to connect another wire from my rudder post to the transmission. The transmission is conductively connected to the prop shaft and the prop, so that wire now going to the transmission, and that connects to the prop shaft and the prop, will be all connected now to the zinc. So the rudder post, the prop shaft, and the prop now will have extra protection from this zinc. So that's the plan. So now I just got to run the wire, and I'll probably do that in another time. I'm not going to do it today. I want to figure out how I'm going to run that wire, because it doesn't look like it's going to be easy to do. So I'm just going to think about it and try to figure out an easy way to do it, so I don't have to like go and tear my boat all apart to do it. So that's the plan. So if you found this video to be helpful or entertaining, please like and subscribe.